Okay guys, so today's program is about putting everything together. So we're going to be putting punches, kicks, elbows, knees, starting to incorporate everything together instead of separate. Now, today's warm-up, you're going to start off with 5 minutes of skipping. Once you've done 5 minutes of skipping, you've got 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 50 straight punches, making sure we're fully extending on our punches. Then you have 50 walking knees. So walking knees, you can do either in a straight line or around in a rectangle, like we've been doing around the mat. So your walking knees being so making sure when we're doing our walking knees, we're focusing on driving the knee forwards, not just up, we're not just marching. Knee comes up, drive the hips forwards, and control the step down. Okay guys, next up, we have some different footwork drills. So these are some we've been practicing in class, but let's run through them anyway. So starting in your stance, guard up nice and high, we're going to hop in and hop out. Now when we hop in, the front foot's going to end up inside the rungs of the ladder, and then we bounce back out. So we shouldn't land flat-footed and then step back, it's going to be a bounce in, bounce back. Now when you bounce into the ladder, both feet have to make contact with the floor, one inside the ladder, one outside the ladder. When we bounce out, same thing. So it should look a little like this. This is stage one. Step across. Step across. So you do that all the way down the ladder, all the way back. If you don't have a ladder, super easy. Get some chalk, or some texture, or some paint, or whatever, and draw one on the floor. Once we've done stage one, we can move on to stage two, which instead of stepping across, we just bounce across as we go. So in, out, all the way up, all the way back. Stage three is adding on a jab. So you don't have to put a forceful jab onto it, just throw your left arm out. Making sure we're not getting too heavy on the front foot. And then lastly, stage four will be alternating between a jab and a cross. So make sure you're focusing on what you're doing with the opposite arm. Don't just throw your punch here and here. Hands up, tight to your head. Okay guys, now I'm not sure how good you can see this with the lighting, but on the floor, I have a star marker. So there's 8 sections. Now the rule is, you can only have one foot in each section. So in our stance, if I'm starting here, if you can see, there is a chalk line running down between my stance. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do some pivots off on 45-degree angles, all the way around the star and then back. So just a basic footwork drill. So in your stance, start up nice and high, whichever way we're moving. So to start with, we're going to be moving to our left. We need to step with our left foot because we don't want to cross our feet over because that's going to compromise our balance and our ability to throw strikes. So from here, left foot steps, and then I rotate so that my toes of my lead foot are facing in towards the middle of the star. So again, step and pivot, one foot in each segment, step and pivot, step and pivot, step and pivot. Now as you're doing this, try and bend those knees and sit down a little bit. If we're doing it really tall, it's going to be really, really awkward and clunky. Once we've done it a few times through, so let's say to start with, 3 times around one way. Then we're going to go back the other way. So if I'm moving to my right foot steps first. So I step with my right foot over the line, pivot, toes facing towards the center. Step and pivot, Again, make sure only one foot in each segment at a time. Once we've done that 3 times, we're going to start adding strikes. So to the left, we're going to go step, pivot, jab, cross, step, pivot, jab, cross. Don't jab, cross until your feet are planted. Then when we go the other way, step, pivot, cross, hook. Now hold that hook position for a couple of seconds. Make sure our weight has shifted from front foot to back foot, hips from left to right, elbow as high as a fist, right hand up. Back to my stance again. 1, 2, cross, hook. Hold it. 1, 2, cross, hook, cross, hook. So you do that a few times around, 2 or 3 times on each of the left and then right with the strikes. Then you're going to start mixing it up. So you might start going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then what you might have, if you have someone with you, get them to call left or right. Or if you're by yourself, get your phone and just randomly say left, 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 right, left, right. So you're just going to move in correspondence to that direction. So someone yells out left, boom, jab, cross. They yell out right, cross, hook, right, cross, hook. And challenge yourself to be able to get this right with a little bit of speed. Alright guys, so today's technique focuses primarily on elbow combinations. So the first combination we're going to start with is a nice, simple, basic elbow combination. So we start here in our guard. We're going to start off by throwing a left crossing elbow, making sure everything comes from our feet. So we need to be able to pivot our feet and rotate our hips. So that's the movement we're looking for. The elbow is just an added extra. We're not just doing this with our arms. So left crossing elbow, right hands up nice and tight, chin tucked down. Right crossing elbow, same thing, left hand up tight, chin down. Guard back up, left spearing elbows. Elbow comes straight forwards, hand stays the same side of the head. We don't cross over like this. So left spearing elbow, right hand's tight, right spearing elbow, left hand's tight, hips are turned. So again, guard up nice and high, chin down, left crossing elbow, right crossing elbow, left spearing elbow, right spearing elbow. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to practice that one for a total of 3 minutes. If at the end of 3 minutes you still don't have it, then keep progressing, keep practicing. Pause, rewind, pause, rewind. Okay, let's keep going over. Our second combination is a left spearing elbow, a right elbow, a left crossing elbow, and then we finish it off with a right spike elbow. So this elbow is coming down on top of the head. So again, left spearing elbow, right crossing elbow, left crossing elbow, right spike elbow on the end. So really focus on big rotation of the hip, bring the arm up and over. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So your third and final combination today, we're incorporating some punches as well. Very simple, very basic. I'm going to set up with a jab. From here, we take a second step, rotate the hips, elbow with the same arm. Then we rotate back through with a spearing elbow. So 1, 2, 3. Side on. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Jab, step again, up elbow, guard back up, step. All right, now once we've done that, we're going to move on to some paddle bag combinations. If you don't have a paddle bag, you can still practice this via shadow sparring, but we're going to be working progressive combinations. So what that means is we're just going to go through an entire sequence, one by one, adding on each time. So I start off with a jab. Then I reset. That's the first strike in the combination. And there's many more strikes. So then we move on to the second strike. So we go jab, roundhouse kick, back to our stance. Then we move on to our third strike, or our third technique, I should say. So jab, roundhouse kick, left check. Again, jab, roundhouse kick, left check. From there, we're going to add on a counter. So we're imagining after that jab and roundhouse kick, someone's countered with a right roundhouse kick back at me. Now I'm going to block it and counter. So jab, roundhouse kick, left check, right cross. That's the first strike. Then we add on from that. So jab, roundhouse kick, left check, cross, body lift. And then we've got one more strike to throw. So jab, roundhouse kick, check, cross, body rip, steering elbow on the end. So let me run through it from start to finish, exactly how you'll be doing it. So that's the full sequence. You're going to spend a minimum of 5 minutes progressing over that sequence. If you get stuck, repeat, repeat, repeat. Just pause, rewind, keep going over it. Okay, now once you're done with that, the next thing we're going to be focusing on is 5 3-minute bag rounds. Now make sure on our bag round or shadow sparring, if you don't have a bag, we're mixing everything up, okay? Don't throw the same combination over and over and over. Try different techniques, try different combinations, put different techniques in different orders, try different heights on strikes. So don't always be punching up here to the head. Mix it up with some shots down to the body. Leg kick, body kick, if you can, head kick. Make sure we're including teeps. Make sure we're including elbows and knees, okay? This is your chance just to experiment and play around, okay? Have fun. Now, your finisher for today is 150 teeps on the bag, 150 knees, and 60 sit-ups.